Hey there, folks. It is a Snowhawk here. It is Tuesday, July 7th, 2026, and we are going to work on training this Noriker, Elderfortune. And we're going to talk also a little bit about the Summer Daze Festival, because I have some thoughts and I kind of want to go over them as I am training. I have done all of my stuff for the day, so I just kind of want to, like I said, just going to go over my thoughts from those. Maybe put them into a full video later on this week on their own, or maybe not, depending on if I forget or not. I have footage if I need it. This is also going to be a training video, so I can get some thoughts out about the horse that I'm riding. Obviously, I have been on this horse already previously. It is level 11 at this point. We're going to get it up to level 15 today. Then I will swap horses. Always working through the hollow woods here because there's always a lot of plants in these leaf piles. I have done most of the stuff in the hollow woods. I do, however, still need to pet Petra, and once I have pet Petra, I'm done. I saved her with the previous horse, with my Echo Twilight, Monty, who is named Echo Twilight. There we go. That's the one we've got. But I didn't pet Petra because I would have gone over the amount of experience I needed. But I did do the runestone puzzle. The runestone glyph puzzle, I should say. Stabilizing that runestone. So we are now done with all of that. This horse did get the 2,500 horse experience from Raynash in exchange for the 2,000 light. But other than that, I have done nothing on this horse today. I do overall like the Norikers. We'll kind of get into some of my thoughts about them in a little bit as we go through this first race, but we're also going to talk about, like I said, it's a Summer Daze Festival, because I have thoughts about that. They're mostly good. They are going to be very disjointed thoughts because, you know, I have to think while I'm writing. I should probably just do a regular video just for those, but in the meantime, I'll look this Rubia first. I'm not getting on the leaderboard with this horse today, so it's fine. I might come back later and run this for the scoreboard. One of the things about the Noriker that I'm not as fond of is the jump. It looks like it's going, and this is the easiest way to phrase this, it looks like it's going to go ass over teeth. It looks like it's flipping forward. not one of my favorite jumps in the game. The thin horse has a similar sort of feel with its jump. And considering I was just under the illusion, I can definitely feel a difference between its jump and the Noriker jump. Too bad. Otherwise, I'm just really not fond of that jump. I like the gates. Its pelvis rotates a lot when it's running, kind of like the Criollo does. Again, not terrible, not a favorite though. Alright. Racetrack 2.0. It's a very cute model though. Especially with the diamond braids, those are adorable, I love them. I have several that have, I think most of them have either the diamond braids or the diamond braids with the roses. It's also the horse that looks the most like one of my friend's OCs, so. I do have a horse that is based off of that one. It's my first Noriker, actually. Noriker doesn't feel like it's falling out of the air like some of the other horses do, but you can definitely tell that it does not complete the jump like some of the newer models do. It just starts running while it's in midair. Well, it helps if I actually, like, jump the fence, you know? I mean, I don't have a lot of complaints about the Noriker. They're cute, they have a really gorgeous expression, a very soft expression. I like their ears when they run. They don't have their ears like pinned back or anything, which works very well for a very friendly looking breed. The walk and trot, and maybe the canter too. I have to double check. It does put their ears swiveled out, but they are not pinned back like the Connemara's. And their ears are bouncy, which is very cute. One of my favorite things about the curly horse is the ears. because when they're in a full gallop, they are pricked forward and they are right next to each other, and it is just adorable, especially on Hydron. Okay, so when we're walking, we have our ears back, we have a nice headset. Same with the trot and the canter. Okay, so the canter is when the ears swivel forward. Their head up for the gallop. Flip it up. Oh, yeah. Just for the walk and trot, the head is down a little bit with the ears swiveled outward, so they are still listening. Probably shouldn't have my Summer Daze thoughts in this video, just because I don't want it to get mixed up in my notes, but I'm still going to say some things about it. Overall, I have enjoyed Summer Daze. I did everything every day, and I wound up with a total of 698 tokens just from this year. I don't have that many right now because I bought stuff. I bought the two token sets that were released for horse and rider. Those are in my inventory now. But it was nice to be able to see like how many tokens I got over the event if I did everything every day, which I did do. So I think for Summer Daze, being as the summer tokens get used, we'll have to check, when Camp Western rolls around. But last year, Camp Western also used summer tokens. And one of the problems that I had last year was it was difficult, especially as somebody with multiple accounts, to have enough tokens to get everything I wanted, And yeah, it comes back the next year, but it sucks if you only have part of a set and you wanted the whole thing, I think Ashley got everything I wanted with her last year. I don't think Saga did. Aurora was new, and Nova showed up at the end of Camp Western, if I'm not mistaken. But, I know Aurora was around for Camp Western because she does have that Sooty Chestnut ASB. But if we're going to have two events that share the same tokens, they need to be more liberal with giving out tokens, especially for folks who can't play every single day. Whoops. We know that Camp Western's coming. Stop getting stuck on everything. In 2 weeks, which is probably also when we are getting our... Wow, I'm just running into literally everything. That was awful. It's fine. It's fine. It's done. That's the important thing. But yeah, I think that if we're going to have two events that are using the same tokens, one of them needs to be like the Equestrian Festival was last year, where there are extra tokens to get. Like if you do, we did the championships last year with the Equestrian Festival. We could get tokens at our first time running every championship. That's what I want to see. not sure the reason why they have not changed it, but the rainbow race for Summer Daze needs to be just 1 lap, not 2. I know why it was originally 2 laps, but I don't think it needs to be 2 laps anymore. And I'm sure there's probably some like technical reason why, but throwing my name out there, also say that I just don't think it needs to be 2 laps anymore. Especially because the other races are quite long. I don't mind Bruce's race being as long as it is. I don't mind the ID Reborn race being as long as it is, because those are only 1 lap. But there's no reason for the rainbow race to be, you know, over 2 minutes. Ends up usually being about 2.5 minutes, which is what? Last square on that page. Now, switch to the next page. Should I mark off everything? So let's head up over to Steve's farm. I don't know if I'll be able to get everything done every single day for Camp Western. I'm taking a little bit of vacation this month. Obviously, no details are being given. It's not going to be a long one. It will be one. I love this music. It's just chill. I like it a lot. It's comfortable, I think is probably the best way to describe it. What are some other things I want to say about the event? I love the lazy river. That's been a fun one. It's also been one that I've been doing not every single day, but I do also do after the duck race, you know, just float down the lazy river because it's chill. I like the midnight sunrise, but I do wish that it wasn't as dark. I know the game gets pretty dark when it's like midnight in the game, but I think it's a little bit too dark. Especially for viewers, or for players who are not as... who might have sight impairments. That's me, I'm one of them. It is very dark. It needs more lights, I guess. If they're going to have it at night like that, it does need more lights. I know I'm not alone in saying this, but I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to give like hints about who else has said stuff. But for me, it's just way too dark. It's fun. It's really fun. I like the mechanics. The same as with the hay bales from the Starshine Legacy race at the Equestrian Festival, where you can just bump into things and they move. I like that a lot. as opposed to just having it like fall over or move out of the way. I like those mechanics. I like how busy the beach is now that it's the last day of the festival, but you know, the beach has gotten progressively more busy throughout, and I just really like seeing all of the NPCs in the beach. These guys need to go up to the disco because I've seen them up there once. And I was in the middle of a race, and then I had to go to a championship right after. And by the time that I got back, they were gone. I want the crabs up the disco more, guys. Come on. We need the crab rave. I'm glad that the stuff that is on the beach mostly does not interfere with the pre-existing races. Mostly. But I'm also glad that they moved the arbor that was nearest to the Pony Championships starting gate because it was in the way. I do think that arbor, there's another arbor that needs to not be there, or it needs to be phantom so you can walk through it, or just, you know, it doesn't need to be a physical object because I keep getting hung up on it when I do the Pony Championship. And I'm not the only one. I'll point out which arbor it is as when we run back through. Why'd I go this way? The music situation needs to get changed. The disco's music either needs to not like affect when you're down there on the docks, or it needs to actually take over so I can hear something that isn't just silence. But I think that the disco music is too loud, and if the game can only play one music track, probably it overrides it. So like, just change how far out you can hear it, how below you can hear it, you know. Above is fine, but below, especially with some of these races, yeah. Or like with the championship, if you do the Fort Pinta championship, the music just cuts out completely. But music has been an issue here in Fort Pinta for, actually I want to say since last year, but I've noticed it. It could have been even longer. I do think that by next year, hopefully sometime this year, they have got to get this situation sorted out where the game isn't utilizing modern hardware. As the fact that I'm getting 45 to 50 frames per second in Fort Pinta is insulting to my hardware. I know I'm recording right now, but dang. Okay, so let's go take a look at these arbors. These arbors are... I have issues with these arbors. They're gorgeous. I like them. I like that they're there. I'm not mad about them being there, but I do think a couple of them... number one, they all need to have a certain change. Number two, this one is in the way for the Pony Championships, and you either have to go this side of it, or you have to go the side I just ran through, because you can't run through here. This is solid. This needs to be... I should be able to go through there. It's that way with all of them. It's not just the one. Stuck. Yeah. This arbor's okay. I think it would be better if it was shifted to the... I'm looking north. So it should be shifted northwest or northeast just a little bit. I want it to go this way, so a little bit north. Just to kind of get it off the road. Because I've seen people getting hung up on the side over there. Or like it did just there. It bounced me off of the edge. Now granted, I'm not on a pony, I'm on a Noriker. But like I don't have my hands on the keys for that. But if I'm coming through here with pony champs and I'm too close, it just turns me away. These decorations need to update. That's from Equestrian Festival 2 years ago, so come on, fix them. I like this. I want to see more of this, like setting up for the next event in-game. In fact, I think they've been changing it over the week. I'll have to look at some footage from earlier in the week, from last Wednesday, but I think there's more stuff there than there was earlier in the week. But yeah, this arbor too is also kind of in the way, and one of the reasons why I say that they need to be phantom, at least on these legs, is because I've seen a lot of folks getting hung up on them during the Marlin Championship too. Not big, it's just little things, you know, that are make the festival not as enjoyable. But overall, like I said, I really enjoyed it. I always really enjoy the fest. I've typically enjoyed all the festivals. I don't feel burnt out about this one having lasted 5 weeks, because unlike during the Winter Festival, there wasn't a trailblazer going. One thing I noticed is that with the Winter Festival, and having as many alts as I did that I was actively doing stuff with, I was getting burned out real bad. We had like, what, 3 or 4 trailblazers in a row. It was just way too much. So we had November, December, I think we had one in January, and then in March and Gaston in February. So it was like 4 in a row. It was a lot. I know they want to give us a lot of stuff for winter, for Christmas, but dang, that's a bit much. But even though this event lasted 5 weeks, I don't feel burnt out at the end of it. And I didn't do as much with my alts this month, or this festival, as I did during winter, but yeah. And it might even get to be a thing where I do a lot with like 1 or 2 alts one year, and then not as much with those same alts the next year. Do different alts, you know. Because I have quite a few accounts. We're not going to say a number. It's quite a few. In fact, I'm going to be starting a new one. She's already been made. She's been made long enough that she doesn't have her trial star rider anymore. She was going to be the streaming alt, but I can't stream right now. The new streaming alt's taking Nova's place. But I've had some changes in how I do things, so I will be working with her as maybe not a full streaming alt, but an alt that I record whenever I'm doing quest content with her. There's both of those with Loretta. Go across the bridge to their riding camp and head on up to... We'll head on down to Epona, I should say. Oh, that was like the perfect jump. We're going to look for our extra interesting finds for our archaeology. I just marked off the race as opposed to marking off the archaeology thing. Oh crap, there's a... Yeah, there we go. Oh, one of the things also that I have really loved from this Summer Daze was the dock decorating. The decorations. Because it's something fun, it's something interesting. I also really loved getting all of the player experience that we have been getting. I got 130 player experience a day this last week. The last 2 weeks, actually. Plus 40 from Starshine Ranch Chores. Plus on Tuesday, Thursdays I have chipmunks over at Steve's. So, like, yeah, it's made already. I'm over a third of the way to level 26. So yeah, I really enjoyed getting all of the player experience. We didn't get as much player experience during the Equestrian Festival. Kind of understandable because the Equestrian Festival is all about the horses. But yeah, I've really enjoyed that, and I want to see more of it. More things to give out player experience. I have thoughts about that. Those would be different. In Hillcrest Chancellor, I think. Yep, okay. Not my favorite championship. I'm just gonna run into literally every log, apparently. That's fine. Exactly what I should be doing. One's blue. That one looks blue from across the river. Or blue. Nothing. Okay, this one. Nothing. That was probably too far. Okay, I made it. Barely, but I made it. And up there it is. Mark the Crescent Moon Village race. You didn't do it yet? probably could have made it up the hill over there, but that's fine. We'll just go around. While I'm going around, I'm going to look for recyclables. That was a Ricky's shoe that distracted me. There's one. There's another one. Each one of those is 2 shillings. If you sell them, return in 15 to get 80 shillings, or 5 for 200 player or horse experience. I would love 200 player experience once again. Repeatable. I have thoughts about more player experience in the game. I do think that player experience or dailies should probably be limited to players who are already higher level or maybe out of other quests to do besides festivals. But I'll save all of those for a full video at some point on its own as part of my Star Stable wish list. I will do at some point. We're talking about Summer Daze, and we're also talking about this Noriker. And the fact that I've been I didn't realize that I've been going for almost 40 minutes at this point, so, you know, it tells you something. The jump just really gets me because they get so butt high, and it's even more like obvious because their tail goes up over them. Like I said, it looks like they're going ass over tea kettle. We were supposed to get storms today. We were supposed to have storms this morning, but I never heard anything. I'll take a look at the weather in just a second. I can tell it's not very warm outside because my legs are chilly. Mark that off. I don't have to mark it off again. Oh yeah, we've got storms. We got rain moving in. Heavier rain soon. Storms from 1 to 4. Okay. Friend was supposed to be coming over to work on cars, but I don't know if we're working on cars today. I don't want them really out there working in the rain. Not in the storms, anyway. They want to work in the rain, whatever, just not in storms. Bottles, cans, clap your hands. Songs from high school. Ooh, flex. I am out of flax. I have 11 flax on me because I made a whole bunch of hay. So I need to grow some. I hate gardening. Things for the wish list. Can't get lucky enough to get the gold one up through here, can't we? Nope. Oh wait, there it is. Nice. Cool. So there's the old Ridgecaster one, or Butter Hill, whatever the hell it is. I've got it in my notes as old Ridgecaster. God damn it. That was a really cheap jump. Okay. There we go. That's what I meant to do. Get this shared a moment in just a moment after I've done the Crescent Moon Village race, so I can get that extra 40 Force experience. Blue, god damn it. Okay, come on. Another blue one. Front loading them. Nothing. Nothing. Oh, but there's a bottle. Nothing. 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 Don't get stuck. There's the gold one. Archaeology and opponent done. And why is this fruit fly suddenly pestering me again? Go away, my dude. No one wants you. Bugs belong outside, not inside my house. I think one thing that Star Stable really needs to kind of work on, if not with existing horses, with future ones, is more realistic jump heights. The hitbox can go over, but I would kind of like to see jumps that match whatever the jump in front of the horse is, as opposed to constantly going, you know, Grand Prix height. Something that is more in tune with whatever the height of the jump is. So I'm not jumping to the freaking moon, jumping over a short, you know, fence or something like that one. The dynamic jump height. because until we started getting some of these newer horses, everything jumped as high as everything else. And so it's like, okay, why is this tiny pony jumping as high as my, as high as some of these warm bloods? I'm not saying they shouldn't be able to clear certain things. I'm definitely not saying that. The hitbox being higher than the horse actually jumping is fine. I just think that the horse itself should be. I like the direction they've been going, like with Connemara and was it the Brabant and the Black Forest horse that I know of offhand. When they jump, they phase through things, which is great because for the Connemara, it's a pony, so of course it's going to phase through things. It's jumping through spite. Frick. There we go. I'm going down here anyway, so I don't know why I did that. I just oops, hit my mic. And then I run into a fence post. That's exactly what I should be doing. Good times. Oh no, I've got the hiccups. Crap. Of course. This horse is old enough that it feels extremely bouncy on some of these rougher nav mesh areas. And it does like a thing where it gets stuck sometimes when the nav mesh suddenly transitions upward, which kind of feels like that's less on the horse and more on the nav mesh. Because I noticed that issue more with older horses in some of these areas. It's not very smooth transition. And for a game that is all about riding horses, I think that your nav mesh transition should be as smooth as possible so your players don't get frustrated and they don't get like yeeted off to the side of something. So I try not to blame things like that directly on the horse, although I do notice it more with the older horses. They're more sensitive to the nav mesh changes. And the Noriker isn't even that old. Noriker is new enough that it just went on sale for the first time last year. So, was it last year when Noriker went on sale? Oop. Guard horse tracker. Noriker, November 13th, 2024. So 2024 is when it originally went on sale, and I have a sale date of May 26th as the last time that it was on sale, but I know they were on sale one time before that. So, News. Noriker. It was May. Okay, so it looks like in December of last year, right before Christmas. December 24th, 2025 was our first sale date for the Noriker at the bazaar. So right before Christmas of the last year. Let's pull OBS back up and that up, back up so I can see everything. Now we're gonna head off. So yeah, I had to check and see. So we're talking about a horse model that's 18 months old? No, not quite. It's almost 2 years old. It was November of 2024. It was 1 year, then December, January, February, March, April, June 7. 19 months. Just over 18 months old. But I'm still seeing a lot of like the bouncy nature of some of them. But even some of these newer horses don't feel as bouncy, and I'm wondering if that's to do with who like led the development. One of my spots that I will be doing a lot of testing at is that particular ramp right there in that Greendale race, or at least in Greendale Forest. Because if I'm not mistaken, those logs are always there. I should go look. Not right now, but I will go look. Restriction for my newest alt as to what horses she can get. Because all of my alts have restrictions on what horses they are quote unquote allowed to have. I did this specifically starting off with Saga with my first alt. Because I know how I am. It's like Ashley gets whatever she wants. That's Ashley. Saga has the restriction of majority white or light gray coats. There are some exceptions made for Perlinos, Cremellos, and Palominos, depending on how light they are. Like she has the buttermilk buckskin Mustangs, both the Gen 2 and the Gen 3. And then today she also got the Palomino Gen 3 Mustang. So you kind of get the idea of like what I'm talking about. She also has this Noriker because it is mostly white. And her darkest coated horses that she has are Soul and Perla. Technically those don't fit, but they're close enough because when they're light, when they're in their magic coats, they're light enough. It's one of those, close enough type things. Like one of her other magic horses she has is a Brakir, whose neutral coat is black. It's a black Sabino, I think, is what it's listed as. But then the birch with the magic coat is mostly white. So she's supposed to ride them around in whatever the matching quote-unquote coat is. Yes, sometimes I make exceptions because I like the horse and I want her to have the horse. Aurora has the restriction of the coats have to be a sooty or smoky dark color, dark silver, so like a black silver or a silver black or any sort of silver that's a dark tone. Or they have to be seal, like a seal brown. Or otherwise look like they are smoky, sooty, sort of, those sorts of horses. And for all of the alts, these horses should be on sale. I do make exceptions like once a month or something, once every 3 to 6 months for a full-priced horse. If it fits, if it actually fits. Nova's restriction is it has to have dapples. Sometimes we're talking reverse dapples. She does not have. I didn't get her Pelagos. And still, both her and Aurora might. Well, no, wait. She did have Pelagos. I don't remember. Either way, they'll get them next year if they don't have them now. But yeah, it has to have dapples. Has to be on sale. Mostly. For magic horses, that can be in one coat, and sometimes it's dapples. In a very broad definition of that, she has for the past several months. She's been on Audra, and Audra doesn't technically have dapples. She's got bird spots. I think I actually got her Monarch too because the bird catcher spots, Going to the list of the alts in my head, Bernadette. Her horses are all chestnuts or red of some sort, so it counts with Palominos, Cremellos, Perlinos. Depending on how red they are, some bays count as well. And for her, I do have to turn off my. Reshade because at the way that it brightens the colors up. Like if we look at the H&M horses here, but if I turn my reshade off, you can see that they're not as bright. Meanwhile, if I turn them on, H&M All In does fit with the reshade on, but without it, does not. So they have to be red, and we set all of them as mares. So she has a whole barn full of red mares. That's the whole joke with her. The next alt that I made after her, although she was the next one started, is Eva. Eva's whole thing is they have to be bay. So any sort of a bay horse. And as a counterpoint to Bernadette's red mares, Eva gets bay geldings. So I think the horse's gender doesn't have any effect on which horses you can get, but it's the coat colors. A song is restricted to a horse that Ashley already has. It has level 215 and it's under my list of favorites. So there are certain breeds that she's not going to be getting any horses of. Sort of like the Chincoteague pony. I don't think I'm getting her any of those unless something changes. I level these next ones up. But the Orphic Connemara, she's not getting any of those. But again, those horses also, they have to be level 15 in Ashley's barn for them to qualify for hers. And then they also have to be basically duplicates. They'll have the same name, same hairstyle, and so on. And I do have a picture of, since Ashley and Song are currently on the same server, I needed to have Song on the server to do so. She's going to be on the same server with Eva and probably a couple of my other alts, maybe my kid's account. I don't know if she has the star or not, but there's a star in the Forgotten Fields that requires 4 people. And the easiest way for me to do it is to have 4 accounts logged in. I have 4 devices. I have this computer, I have my old computer, which my kid plays Star Stable on sometimes. I have a tablet, and I have my phone. So if I have 4 of those, I can log those accounts in. We're good. Normally I would have run up there, but we're going to just take the trailer today. When I say up there, I mean to the medieval camp. But just in case I need to have one of my other accounts that already has the star, I moved everybody onto the same server. Normally those guys are on Poppy Moon. They'll be moving back eventually. I did also move Song because the original impulse for moving Song was I needed a few more hours for the Trailblazer. Not this past one, but the one before. Is the one before? No, it was this last one. Never mind. Whatever. I didn't want to miss the bonus days. Poppy Moon's only an hour behind my current time zone, whereas this server that I do not give the name of it out because my kid plays on the same server is 3 hours behind. So I'm not impossible to find, but I don't go publicizing what server I play on with my main account. But yeah, the newest alt that I'm going to be starting, her name is Linnea. If I start with her, I might start with another one. But if I start with her today, her restriction is going to be the horse has to be on sale. Fair enough. The horse has to be available to level 1 players. Which means anything that's in Moorland. Now I'll give her like a restriction of the horse can be, like my other alts, she gets a freebie like every 3 to 6 months or whatever. That's a full priced horse. Because there's not always a pony that's level 1 that's on sale, you know. I don't know if even New York pony has or not, but regardless, it's an excuse to buy her a Connemara. AKA my favorite pony in the game. So like I wrote down all the horses that are currently on sale at Moorland Stables and are available for level 1 players with what their coat is. So it has to be that specific coat that's available for level 1 players. None of the Chincoteague ponies are available for level 1s. None of them are for sale at Moorland. I also want to see if anything leaves Moorland. And I might put an asterisk by Linnea's restriction that if it was at Moorland when she started, then it still counts. Because I did not check prior to the launch of the Brabant if there were what horses were there and what horses left. And I'm sure I could look on the wiki, but it sounds like more work than I want to deal with. Like looking at the edit history. Although I've noticed that there's some things that aren't up to date on the wiki. Like saying a certain, one of the Jorvik Frisians, I think, was set as being available for level 1 players. What? It's both of those. And once again, I would normally run, but we're just going to take the trailer today. Ooh, gold leaf stains. What I mean about the being very sensitive to the nav mesh. Not every horse that I have will bounce off the nav mesh right there, but some of them really seem to do it quite often. It's a buzzing fork phone. Then up to the real moneymaker, which is Marchingast. There's just so much up here. I'm gonna fix this cushion I'm sitting on. Stood up and it was sideways. And it got sideways and now it's off and I can't get it put back to where it was. Exercises. I love these little guys. They are so cute. I mean, they're not little guys, but you know what I mean. They are friend-shaped. Like right there was another spot where I could have bounced off the map mesh. Alright, so I got one over here in the graveyard. Now there's one behind the tree. And I think the other one is right up from the show jumping course. But you're not there. Not there. Do our traditional show jumping. Wasn't paying attention if I heard a squee over here or not. Yep, there you are. Little friend. Oh, that is a hay bale. So let's take these guys back. My map out of the way. I know the Waldfingen is right outside of the castle. I'm not going to get him just yet. I'm going to go ahead and head over to Brood's hut. Do the race there. We'll get our Waldfingen friend once I'm ready to go back to the castle. really appreciate all the detail they put into the coat texture for this Noriker, for this one, and the gray leopard they just released. Or the blue round. I don't remember. I'll have to look at the thing and see what it says. I should know, but I forgot. But anyway, the Noriker they just released has some gorgeous coat textures too. I leveled that one earlier. There's a lot of like little attention to detail things that are going on. And I really appreciate all the little things like that. Like even though this is a bay leopard, it's got so much detail in the coat. The one thing I do wish, though, is I wish that the hair was not blended so evenly, that there were like differences in the gradients, especially in the tail. Like if the black part of the tail and the mane, instead of being on the same level as the gradient from the rest of it, was like the darker part was actually higher up as opposed to in here. It is a little bit, but just make it more obvious. Or like right through here, it's just a little too even. I would like to see, I would have liked to see just a little bit more detail put into that. Not a deal breaker. Oops. Okay, so let's get Blighted Nickus number 1. To the Veiled Hamlet with our little friend here. And then actually pick up the quest for him. Run the Ritual of Shadows. Almost an hour and 20 minutes, and just realized that. So, once again, you can tell that this is not a horse that I dislike leveling. I really like leveling it, even if I have some issues with, like, the jump. Looking like it's about to flip forward. It's a very fun ride. I will give it, I will definitely say that much for it. sacred tradition. Up, let's get our offerings. I do think they finally fixed the banner getting stuck. I have not had it get stuck on me. Of course, I say that and it'll probably get stuck this time. Nope, it actually didn't. That's surprising. Okay, so let's go. Where's this want me to go? Here, I think this is from Mushroom, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, mushrooms. Sapling and more mushrooms. We're going to head back to the tree. Drop off our offerings. Once I figure out how words work. With a fully charged up lantern, glimmer lantern, let's down over this way. First get our new friend. Fix the lantern really quickly. Little friend out. As long as you have a charged up lantern, this guy will follow you. I should turn these in before. I'm not going to tempt fate into making the game crash. Let's just turn these in while I am here. And then Nickus number 3. Almost level 14 with this horse. I have the scrap on me now, and yeah, I can really see the thing that I was noticing on the Clydesdale, but I've noticed it a lot on this breed too. I don't know if I said it in other videos. I know I said it with the Clydesdale, which I don't know if that video is going to go up or not, because that was several videos that I had to get pieced together. or I will have to piece together if it goes up. You can really tell the way that they have this done up on certain breeds. These breeds that are very active pelvis, I guess is the best way to describe it. They bounce around a lot. So you see this on the Criollo, you'll see this on the Noriker here. Anything that moves around a lot at the hind end. These bags that are supposed to be resting on the horse's butt are actually part of a plane off the cantle of the saddle, which means they look kind of silly. And I think that anything that they're carrying is the same, if I'm not mistaken. And I could be. But that's the way that it looks. Because the boxes are the same too. You have to carry any boxes. Everything done here, so let's head back up to the castle. Actually, we're going to head up towards the castle, but take a detour right at the very end to get our Waldfingen, who's outside and not feeling well. It's actually a pretty solid landing for this horse. Usually it shoots off to the side. I've done that with this model before. Respect your tail. Tail's fine. Respect your paw. Paw's fine. Your shell. Shell's fine, which means it's your head. I'll fix your head. Poor guy. Big friend. Get our lantern sapling quest first. Shared moments. I got so used to doing the blacksmithing with Conrad where it's all timed. I didn't realize that the quest, the daily quest, is not timed. You can take your time going from one to the other. I also haven't had soft lock on me in a while, so hopefully they fixed that bug too. Alright, so we are all done there. Double check and make sure that I did get everything in the castle. Yes, okay. Head to Telltop Village. what's up. Forgot to jump. Like I can just sneak through here. No, you can't. You gotta jump. Bye. Elk bugling at me, making fun of me for creating jump. Good times. I managed to actually get that and jump and not get stuck. Usually I can get the flower or I can jump. I know I'm going to come back up here later, but I don't want to do the pottery challenge right now. So we're just going to come back here to Valedale, and then we're going to run to Valedale Lake. Am I going way over with my usual time with these horses? Yeah, that's fine. Otherwise it'll be 2 videos and might as well just make it 1, I guess. We'll make a second one later on today. I'm going to take a break after I get done with the training circuit here. Get myself something to eat because I'm hungry. I had breakfast and that's all I've had today besides a couple of snackies. But nope, we're going to get something to eat after I get done with the training circuit. And then, after I've eaten, I'll probably come back and make another video. I need to make like a video that is a proper introduction, not just my 1 minute cram everything into a single spot, you know, type thing. Hey, get over there. The 1 minute, very general introduction video. Yeah. Sub 1 minute. And also if I start winning every day. We shall see. Not yet. Want that bottle. Nope. I want that. There we go. Okay. Now, let's do this race. Bunch of these to mark off now. Full building apocalypse. I don't think I'll be able to get everything done before this horse is 15. I get 12 good to the animals. Do math, but not doing math in the middle of a race. Mrs. Done. Let's see how much left. I might skip the calculator. Thank you. Okay. 100. Oh, I should be okay. Should. I don't know why I was thinking I couldn't, but I should be okay. I always try to get as close to max experience without going over for the... Oh my god, stop fingers. For these level 15 horses. If they're going to level 11, it's fine because it's just a little bit less that I have to deal with, but if they're going over 15, I would rather not, quote unquote, waste the experience. But I will use something like this cross-country race to, fill in the gaps. Which if you ever catch me on any of my accounts and I'm just running this race over and over and over again, you can know that I'm probably pretty close to leveling up a horse and I just want to get it done. And yeah, I could make jars of wisdom, but counterpoint, if I do it this way, I get shillings and horse experience. Without having to, make jars of wisdom. Fireflies in the hollow woods. I'm gonna be spending a whole bunch of time over here very soon. Oh look, a donkey. Handy for my first one. So loud, my guy. Animals. All right, so sheep. Missing sheep. Okay. Thought it was, but I just wasn't sure. That was a very loud bah. Okay. Okay. Head back. At least I don't have to herd this one specifically, I just have to get it close enough. Okay. And then the race paddock and then the forest trail. Didn't mean to open that gate. It's fine. Like in real life, it closes on its own. are self-closing gates in real life, but humor me. Alrighty. It's almost where I thought I would be. A little bit over, because I forgot that Elena's weekly quest is, I think it's like 25 player experience or something. I've got it written down. I didn't calculate for that. With adding that in, that's the player experience I thought I should have. Of course I hit one right at the end. Yes, chicken's done. Alright, so let's find our missing animals. And then I will be done with the training circuit and with this video. Where I talked about a lot more than the Noriker that I'm writing. It's fine. That's kind of what these whole stream of consciousness things are anyways, taking the place of me streaming. The fact that I've been going for almost 2 hours. And I haven't been going, I want to get off this horse. It speaks volumes to how much I enjoy riding the horse. Some of them I'm like, I can't wait to be done with this. But not the Noriker. Back up just a little bit. See a donkey over there. Don't know if I can get to it without losing this cow, so I will come back to that. No, don't. There you go. back around for that donkey, but I want to check the rest of the water here first. Sometimes there'll be something in this little area. I don't see anything this time. Got my donkey. You're very loud, my guy. Let's take you back. But I don't want to listen to that. Just don't. Three of those. With a little less than 1,000 experience left to get. So check right here, real close. Sometimes they're down next to the road. I will miss them, especially if it's a chicken. Oh, speaking of chickens. Chicken taken back. So that's the end of the Duskbard trading circuit. I have like 600 experience left to get. I know I said I was going to end the video here, but here's what I'm going to do so I can set up for the next video, which will be kind of a hi, this is who I am, this is how I train my horses type thing. I'm going to go ahead and get this horse to level 15. We might as well do it while I'm still recording. So I'm going to run back up to the cross-country race because, like I said, this is the one that I use to get horses that last a little bit. Mostly because this is the shortest of the repeatable races. Oh, wow. Cross-country race. Because these are repeatable and I can do them as many times as I want during the day with no experience loss, I just will keep repeating this one. I'm gonna actually do it twice. See how much I have left. And it should be less than 200, and if it is, we're gonna head over back to the Hollow Woods and just run around and collect some fireflies because that's fun. And I have to go back there anyway because that's where my home stable is. also run whatever championship's going on, but I don't think so. I think we'll just do this. These championships are also 250 horse experience. And it's Golden Hills anyway, so. One of my least favorites, although you probably see me running it a lot because it tends to be the one that's up whenever it's time for me to run a championship. I'm just like, oh crap, but I need help rest. Okay, so 384, just over 100. And 16 experience. So we're going to get this can. And now we're going to hunt some wisps. Hopefully we can get some wisps and yeah. Hey. You? Yeah, you. Sometimes my kid sees them and she's already been able to pick out like which ones are likely to turn into wisps, and she's like, "Oh, you look sus," and I'm like, "Ah, yes, this is my child." Shit, come on. Well, we're not getting the chamomile, I guess. Maybe? Yeah, there we go. That one should still be up. Down in the hole. There it is. 40 more experience. You have not done all of your runestone stuff, I do highly recommend it because, man, collecting the light and the fact that every single one of these guys gives you, every firefly gives you 2 horse experience once you've got them to that point. Well, it's 1, then it's 2. And plants will give you 5 once you unlock those nodes. And the wisp will give you up to 30. So it's worth it if you have not done all of your stuff with the big runestone. Alright, so now we are all done with this horse. Which means I am going to, you're going to turn, there you go. Head back in front of the barn here at Valedale. Once I catch this guy for the light. And pick up this bottle. And then I'm going to call the video, this video there, right here. I'm going to get something to eat because I am hungry. But in the meantime, this video is probably going to go up on Friday. I'll have a video up on Wednesday that y'all will have seen already by then. But in the meantime, this might go up on Friday, I think. I'll have to see. Anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful morning, evening, afternoon, whatever it happens to be. I don't see you. Well, I mean, I'm not going to see you actively because, you know, it's video, but yeah, I'm just looking forward to the next one. I will see you guys then. I really miss streaming. I need to get back to streaming. I need my internet to cooperate so I can stream. But in the meantime, you get these. I hope you folks have a wonderful, whatever part of the day it is. And I will see you guys on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.